top of the hill. You buy yourself a first class bungalow. And all your friends have come and gone, sunk down into the sand. Sail away to the promised land. keep. The last time you will keep. The last time you will keep. Feeling good, 'cause you're the talk of the town. You hate to look, but you love.
Greetings! Welcome to Meet Me at the Painting Table. We're going to paint some miniatures today. Sorry it took me a while to get up and running here, but we are good to go. This is going to be super fun. We're going to be working on some really fun miniatures. I've got 3 that I'm thinking about working on. We'll see what we can get to. I think it'll be good stuff. I do want to apologize again. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I appreciate anybody who's joining tonight. Normally, I try to get one done a week, but it had a couple weeks that were a little, had a lot going on. So it's good to be back to the painting table finally, and I hope you guys are ready to join me as well. We are continuing our work on, what do you call it? Oathsworn today. Thomas Clark, good to see you. You are 57 million years late starting. Oh, come on. It wasn't that bad. Is it? Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining. We are painting some miniatures tonight. Here, I'll show you what we're painting. Now, last time we actually got together was so long ago. We were working on these guys right here. Ooh, I dropped these guys. We're working on these guys. We got them up and running here. They look pretty neat. And I'm gonna I have some more of those I'd like to paint, but I was thinking, you know, we did those last time, so I'm gonna paint those on the side on my own. What we're gonna work on is either the Grove Maiden tonight or this giant, huge thing that I have no idea what it is, but it's part of Oathsworn. And I think it has to do with her, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm not obviously spoiling anything because I don't know anything about this character. I've never looked into it. For those of you that don't know how this character works, you're not supposed to technically play the character until you encounter it of some kind, like in the story or potentially maybe in an encounter. I don't know. Colin and I have not gotten that far. So. Yes, it has been 30 seconds and I'm already throwing stuff all over the place. So, well, hopefully we won't make another blood splat. That'd be the worst thing we could possibly do, another big giant blood splat here, but that's going to hopefully not happen. So if we had, now normally when I paint things, I do like to go off of the card that actually comes with the game, because that way I can have a pretty good chance of, I like to make the people look similar to what they look like on the card. So here's what the Grove Maiden looks like from the back, and there's some story that goes along with it. Not only that, if you haven't played Oathsworn before, there is a difficulty rating on all the player characters. And this one is a 5, and guess how many it's out of? Yep, 5. You guessed it. So we'll see. We'll see if we're going to get to this one or not. Colin and I have been talking, and we would like to eventually kind of switch them up so everybody has a chance to see all the different characters in action. For those of you that have not played Oathsworn yet, I do recommend getting it. I know the Kickstarter, I think, just ended. I wonder if they'll have late backing. If you're interested in picking up, please do. It's a fantastic game, and it does come with miniatures, or you can get it as a standee version. They do actually have the other side as well that I'm looking at right here, and it shows her kind of standing on this log, which is pretty cool. Now, of course, that's not part of the actual miniature, but that's okay. She does have these things growing out of her, these like vine-like things. So we're gonna paint those too. And since it's a Grove Maiden, yes, there's a lot of green. Now I'm gonna try to blend it in with what we were working on before, so we'll see how it goes. Is that Emma Frost over your left shoulder there? Yeah, actually it is. That's a good. That's fantastic. Yes, I do have Emma Frost. So yes, Emma Frost is right here. I have Emma Frost in a little box. Yes, this is my Emma Frost. I've had it forever. I don't know when I got this thing. It's so old. Oh my gosh, it's kind of deteriorating in my hand here. I don't think I've ever pulled this thing out. It's a Marvel statue of Emma Frost. Yeah, I got this, I think, at a comic book convention a long time ago here in Minnesota. Frost in a box. Frost in a box, T. Clark. Thomas Clark says Frost in a box. So I think, it's so old, I think some of it's, oh no, this is a padding. It actually has padding in the back so that your miniature doesn't get worn out. That's amazing. I've never seen that before. So yeah, that's Emma Frost in a box. Emma Frost in a box goes back up over my left shoulder. That's where she goes. She used to sit over, she used to sit back there somewhere, but now that I got this new huge giant paint station, I don't actually have, I don't have her there anymore. As you can tell, she wouldn't actually fit back there. So I don't have her back there anymore, which is kind of funny. So I put her over here. That's the deal. Nice. That's my early stream derailment out of the way. Thank you, Broccoli Docklins, as always, for throwing me off topic. That is amazing. Good work. So now that we've met Emma Frost, it's time to get to work. See what we can do. When we painted these guys, we used I've used some yellow along kind of the tips of these things. I kind of dry brushed some red around here, and I think we used some brown as well. And then, as you can see, a lot of green. I think that's what we're going to do with this. We're going to start with a lot of green, and I've got different shades of green. I can't remember. It's been a while since I remember what shade of green we used. But we are going to use the speed paints. We have Orc Skin as one potential customer. We have Plasmatic Bolt as another green, and then we have Camel Green as well. I think there might even be another green in here somewhere. Yes, there's Absolution Green. I think we're going to start with Absolution Green and see what happens. And we can always dry brush some lighter green or some yellows onto this if we don't like it. So we're going to take this one, and thanks to the wonders of speed paints, they are brilliant. They put these little, well, it is Army Painter. They put these mixing balls in all of their paint cans now that have that are the, what do you call them, the speed paints. So it works really well. If you are using speed paints, it is recommended to put them over white, from how I understand. I haven't seen some, actually I should say William was on a little while ago with us, and he was trying a new technique that looked pretty good, and it looked like it had potential, where you actually paint it white like this, but then you do a heavy, like, or no, you paint it gray or something, dark gray, and you do a heavy white dry brush on it. And really supposed to give that definition. But we're just going straight white here. That's the plan. So we got our paint all shaken up here. We're going to give this a shot, see what happens. We're going to put it on our palette and see what goes on here. I'm wondering if you need a new palette or not. And that one looks okay. We'll just kind of put it in some places that doesn't have a lot of stuff. We'll put it right here. Put a few drops in there. I think this is pretty dark green if I remember right. To be fair, Barrett didn't need much to get distracted. A gentle spring breeze can derail his stream. This is very true. This is very true. Oh my gosh, absolutely true. You guys are good. Funny, funny. All right, I think we're gonna start. I'm gonna start on the vines. See how this works. Absolution green looks very much of a lighter green. Oh, you know what? I think would also be really good is I always use the same camera to paint with that I use in my what do you call it? My plays, and it's my green screen camera. So I always, when I go to paint stuff and it's green, it doesn't show up because it's green. We're just going to paint all around on these tentacles here, I guess you could call them. And then we'll maybe work on some, we'll do some like little dry brushing on top of that after we get these. So here we go. It is a darker green, and that's going to be okay. That's going to be the darker green coming off. Really kind of shiny dark green. I think it'll be okay. You know, that's the beauty of a figure like this, is the fact that it's very organic. So you have a lot of freedom when it comes to organic stuff. It's when it's non-organic that sometimes it can get a little iffy, because you want to make it look like super perfect. Let's say you're painting a chest, like a chest. You know it's going to have that boxy look to it, and it's going to kind of all come to an area of different like browns, and you're going to want to paint it to look like a chest. Where when you're painting nature, you get a lot of freedom in what you want to do with it. So if you get some colors in places you don't think it really works, it's not the end of the world, because you can always paint over it with something else pretty quickly. We can get underneath there, get some here. These kind of grow right into her back, it looks like. Right into her back there. And these are pushed to fit, so I could take these apart and paint different parts of it. But with this particular miniature, I don't think she has an armory system or anything, because I think she, well, maybe she does. I'll have to look. We'll look at that at the end, see if she has an armory system. We're just going to paint this up. Well, look, I even painted her arm. You know what? Not caring. I don't care about that, because all this is going to all fit together anyway when it comes to the colors I use. Like I said, we're just going to paint this all green. I'm going to take this all out. We've got a lot of green in here. I'm a little bit overboard in that green right there, so we'll just kind of soak that up and paint it in other places. We're just going to take it from where we had it before and just put it somewhere else. That's the deal. Take some of this from where we have it and put it there. There we go. Paint it all up. Vines, this green. These are good green for vines. Look at that. That's actually a really good green for vines, right? Good green for vines, I think. And my goal when we do our painting streams, especially for like Oathsworn and other campaign games we do, I try not to spoil a lot of stuff, which is why we're just painting up the main figures in this. I'm not painting any of the bosses or anything. Not to mention a commissioned painter named Bill painted almost 99% of the bosses. I painted 1 and 2. Painted all the rest of them. So we can be super shocked when we open it. It's really cool. If you're interested in getting miniatures painted and you don't want to do it yourself, you can always ask Bill to do it. Bill is, I think I put a link in for his information in this video. I think I have it in a lot of the painting videos I do. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I've got some vines coming out from the ground, but I'm going to do a different green on those. We're going to try all the different greens. We're going to use them all over the place, and I'm going to put all of my hand. It'll be good. I'm going to do some orc skin. And there's nothing saying you can't mix some of these paints, too. We did that last time as well. We put some, we just kept kind of adding greens and browns together until we kind of got different colors and started putting it all over the place. It was pretty neat. It'd be cool if you could swap out her arms for pointy sticks, but alas, she does not have any armory. Okay, thank you, Thizit. I don't have to go check now. So I've got the armory box right here, and I could have checked, but now I don't have to, because it has saved the day yet again. He knows what he's talking about. I have a parched throat. Right now, my house is dealing with a little bit of illness, but that's okay. My son had to stay home from school today. He's not feeling the great. He's upstairs sleeping. Morganite, good. Welcome, Morganite. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. We are painting up some Oathsworn. I just can't get enough of this game, and I can't get enough of painting it because it always looks awesome when it's on the table. I think one of the things that pulls me to this game is the fact that miniatures are so big, too. They look really cool when they're all big like that. I'm going to put some of this green on. Let's try, we're going to put the green on this stuff coming up from here. This green should be a little bit brighter. A little bit brighter green. It's going to be a little bit tougher to see on the camera, but it should be a brighter green. Orc flesh got here. I'm just going to do that from some of the sprouts coming up here. After we get it out, if we look, this one in the back has some texture to it. It has like even vines coming off of that. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to try to dry brush something onto there. Maybe that'll look kind of cool like that. We'll see how it goes. I might do some heavy red dry brushing on that too. Dry brushing is really a big key to get it for me to work nature stuff. It really helps me get some of that definition around of all the different things. Oh, I have to admit, it's really fun to be back painting. It's been a long time since I've done it. It's been too long. I ended up doing a $1 for now. I just really need to play some of what I already have. Oh my gosh, I totally get it. That. I think that's one of the curses of being an avid board gamer is that we always seem to have too many games. We never get to play them all, especially when they're these big campaign games, which is kind of nice. That it's really good that Colin's helping me play through this game because it really makes me want to get it. I'm really excited to do it, and it always is such a pleasure to be able to do that. And doing it live has just been absolutely phenomenal. If you are interested in seeing it, please do. What better way to spend Wednesday evening than in the land of 1,000 lakes? Come on, we got 10,000, Dan. 10,000 lakes here. Those from Iowa and stuff would almost think that we consider any puddle a lake, which is why we have 10,000 of them. That's another thing people say. Yeah, we're going to paint this all lake. All this is going to be all the way down to like her hand there. I'm going to kind of paint it up like that. Missed the 0. Yes, you did. Oh, I thought that was intentional. You're funny. Oh, continuing on. Let's see. I think that's going to be good. We're going to get this arm a little bit here, but I'm not going to paint under her hands. I got a plan for her hands. Yep, that's right. You know me. I got plans. Always got a plan. We're going to paint up to her hand like that. And just kind of, and see, oh, wow, it doesn't help when I can't see what I'm doing. That's fantastic. Way to go. I was going to make a puddle joke. You were, Broccoli. Thank you so much. Yeah. May need to start my own board gaming channel to encourage myself to get through my collection. It's interesting you say that. That was one of the reasons I started my channel. Because the only person I had to play with really was my wife. And a lot of times she would go to bed at night. And I should be like, I know I'm not going to be able to make it down for games. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then I'd sit there and I'd look at this game and I'm like, it's a solo game. I can play with myself. It'd be fun if I was playing with somebody. And then that's one of the reasons I started my channel. Because then I could not only play it, I could be able to show it to the world and people can watch it and kind of, in a way, kind of play along with me in times, which is kind of neat. Now that I've been able to start doing it live, it even gives me more of a chance to do that. How dare she want to go to bed at night? Ah, yes. She's a teacher. Takes a lot out of you. That's for sure. I've learned that. Go back in there. Now, her headdress is going to be, I'm going to use a yellow on that. For now, we're going to paint the rest over here in her back green in there. And again, I'm not being too picky as to where hits what. I have to decide. Do I want to keep going green down this? I think so. And we'll just kind of add some dry brushing to it. I think it'll be fine. We're going to go green on this too. Go down. We're going to do it all green. All right, here we go. But then we're going to add some stuff to it. This will be just our base color here. Base color. It's all about the base, right? That's the deal, right? All about the base. I should paint this one too. I wonder if I should paint her, I say. And I'm like, yeah, I already did. Here with this green. This is Orc green, by the way. I was wondering what that is. All the way down. I'm kind of going to stop before her foot, because I'm going to do the same thing for her foot that I'm going to do for her hands, I think. The plan. Again, I'm not being perfect on everything. I'm just kind of getting it all over the place. This is the base color. It's an organic creature, so we're going to kind of see what we can do. So it kind of looks like she's got this green suit on. That's the deal. See what happens. I pulled the trigger and got the core pledge on Kickstarter. Trent, that's awesome. I can't wait to play it. I'm really glad you did. Kyle and I were talking about that after the stream. I'm glad you're able to pick up the core. I think that'll be awesome. We really enjoy it. It's going to be. I think you will as well. I think you will as well. Whether you get the miniatures or you get standees, either way, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. I have offloaded 3 of my games to be painted to a gaming friend of mine, and he is better than me, which is nice. Affordable and awesome. The backlog has become manageable. This is and it's funny because that's one of the hard parts about getting these games to the table. So I like to get these miniatures painted. Sometimes I just have to go with it though, because I wanted to get what was it, Shoal on the table because I had a fun time playing a little bit of that, and I was like, I really want to record this right now, but I got to miniatures painted, and I didn't. And I saw somebody who painted them, and oh my goodness, he did a great job. And I was like, I could have done that, but I didn't. Well, season 1 of Cthulhu Death May Die arrived today, so adding that to the pile of rule books. Good news, it's cool when you're not. So the rulebook isn't that bad. Believe it or not, Colin has about 132 plays of that game that you could probably learn a little bit from. I did one. He's a better. Oh, so you can always find some more. How about dry brushing brown on her body, kind of like brown bark armor? That's actually exactly what I was thinking. Good, you're a smart man, Thomas. Great job. That is actually exactly what I'm doing. I'm kind of waiting for it to dry a little bit here. A little green on here. There you go. Down the green. Now I want to paint some yellow up on top on her head. And then I want to do a lighter green. I'm going to do a dark. I'm going to do this. I don't want to do lighter green. I want to use a darker green. First, I'm going to use a darker green. I'm going to use this camouflage green here. We'll see what this does. This could be a bad idea. We'll see what happens. Not everything's a good idea. One little drop on there. We're going to go like this. I got a plan. I'm going to go a little bit cameo dark here on her face, and just kind of blend that in a little bit around her. It'll be okay. A little bit up there, and then I'll just kind of put the yellow on top. I want to put this on her hand. So I was planning for her hand. I wanted a darker green on her hand. It'll be cool. Kind of darker green up and around her hand, and I'm going to kind of blend it in with that lighter green. Kind of cool that you can do that. Here on her feet. Up a little bit, and then onto her arm a bit. And then back of her head a little bit here. Okay, got a little bit there. Now I got to get the yellow. Now I want to get to this yellow before this dries. That's my plan. What is your favorite board game genres? That's a great question. My favorite board game genres, I would say, are dungeon crawlers, sci-fi, and fantasy. Dungeon crawlers. Very campaign type things. I'm not like heavy into Euro type games. But honestly, anytime I play a game with a person, that's all that matters. It's lots of fun. I always have a great time playing games. It doesn't matter what type of game is it, but if you notice, you might see some of the stuff in my collection back here. I'm really a big fan of campaign games that you can kind of live through the story about it. I think it has to do with like almost where I used to play video games a lot. I used to play like the Zeldas. I used to play The Final Fantasy games, all those type of games, that like those adventure games, those big, long, huge games. Very story driven. Thank you, Trent. Yes, story driven games. I'm a big fan of story driven games. That's why Madara is one of my favorite games. It's a big giant story. Um, I like Forbidden Fortress because you can build your story for yourself. It's almost like making your own Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Kind of neat. Uh, the Grove Maiden and her squad are some of the last few minis I have yet to paint, so I'll be watching your tutorial intently. I just finished painting chapter 21. Wow! That means that I think 21 is the last one, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty awesome. I am excited to get to those events, to get to that part. Oh, I do not want Crusader skin. I'm looking for a paint. We're gonna do hunt for the paint. That's the only, you know what I should do? I should like label each of these paints. Oh, found it. Zealot yellow. We're gonna use Zealot yellow. That's gonna be our plan. And hopefully I can get to this before that green dries up on top. We're gonna get some Zealot yellow. We're just gonna put a couple drops one drop right there. That should be good. Maybe a couple. We'll see what happens. Now, in theory, lighter should not go over darker, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to kind of put this onto her. Now I'm going to blend it right into that brown there. That's be the plan. I want to put it over the brown, and yep, that works perfect. Good. Kind of almost turned it a little bit brown. That's exactly what I wanted. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I tell you. There you go. Get some of this more yellow to her face here. There we go. And there. We got that kind of, so it looks like this kind of yellowish in the top, but then it kind of browned at the end, in the end there. And we can even dry brush some brown yellow onto that as we get farther down. That looks perfect. I'm going to keep some on her hand here, over here on this hand. Awesome. I'm just going to kind of dab it around on her a little bit here. That's sweet. Good stuff. All right. That looked pretty good. Pretty excited about how that turned out. That worked out. Zealot, yellow, Zello. That's what we should call it. You're right. Zello. It should be Zello. I didn't like Euros when I started, but the theme dragged me into a few that I wasn't expecting to enjoy. I'm very excited for Darwin's Journey to arrive. I played it a number of times on Tabletop Simulator. Morganite, I have not played Darwin's Journey. I might have to look for some heavy Euro guy that knows about that. I do know a few of them. There's one of our friends that plays a lot of Euros that I enjoy playing with him too. He's a really fun person to play games with. So I'll have to ask him about that. Maybe he got that one. That'd be pretty cool. We played some of that Arc Nova. We played, goodness, something about a world. I'm horrible at remembering games sometimes. Oh my gosh, you think that I should write a list of the games I want to talk about and just and I would have them. Oh my gosh, but nope, totally don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, now I gotta get a brown. I'm gonna find a good brown. We don't want to go too dark. I want to go nice and light. I think I'm gonna try this one. I think we have desert yellow or we have leather brown is another option here. We'll try leather brown. Let's see how this goes. We're going to do little yellow leather brown, and we're going to just dry brush that. Now this time I am actually using my dry brush. I've got a couple dry brushes. I've got this one. I've had this forever. This is my Citadel one. I can't honestly tell you when I bought it. I have no idea when I bought it. And then I've got another one somewhere. Oh, my other one is right here. I've got a Army Painter dry brush. That's the deal. Trent asks have you ever painted Warhammer 40k? No, I have not painted Warhammer 40k, but I have painted a exuberant amount of miniatures when it comes to Warhammer Fantasy. I had an Orc Goblin army and an Empire army. I even had a Tomb King army, but I sold that one. But I still have my Orc Goblin army. I sold a lot of the Orc Goblin army that I hadn't painted, but I kept everything I painted. It's so hard to sell things that you painted. I don't know. That's just me. So hard to sell. Well, and I haven't played it in, oh my gosh, since Age of Sigmar came out. I think when Age of Sigmar came out, I was out, and I haven't played it since. So I've got some of the, what do you call them? Those, the group that came out when Age of Sigmar came out. It was the like almost looked like robotic like characters. I forget the name. Horrible names yet again. Put that on my list of things to remember next time. So I don't do too much with Warhammer 40k, but I do with Warhammer Fantasy. Now we're just gonna dry brush this brown onto here and just kind of see what happens. That's gonna work okay. Dry brush some brown all the way down. This should kind of help pick out those vines that you're seeing on her. You can kind of see how it picks out the vines a little bit, which is what I'm trying to do here. We're going to try to pick out all those little vines that we have going up and down here. And of course, there's a lot on her side, a lot on her chest, as that shows. Oh my gosh, so good. And like I said, but I want to do brown on her, but I want to do red on the vines. Well, I'm going to get a little more brown here. Oh. Right here. Hold it a little bit. It kind of looks like she is. Yeah. Now I'm going to try something terrible. I think terrible idea. I think I need a little more green. I picked up Warhammer Quest, Cursed City, not to play the game, but to repose into D&D. No, that's awesome, and you should never be ashamed of that. That's for sure. One of my secret maneuvers was when I was originally getting all these games. And my wife play them, and so was a friend of mine, and he was going to get his wife to play them. And then together, we were going to make our wives play Dungeons and Dragons, and I had all these miniatures I can use in Dungeons and Dragons. Then, ta-da! It worked. Boom! Score 1 for the Dork Squad. So now we play Dungeons and Dragons almost every weekend together. We've got a group of 6 of us, and it worked out really well. Aha! What do you know? It works. So that's why I got a lot of times why I really started getting into some of the miniatures itself, and the miniature gaming and things. Not only that, I love the miniatures, and I love painting them, and I think it's a lot of fun to play the games. We actually have physical things you're touching and having fun with. But yeah, it was. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. Loquitur Gaming is here. Loquitur, it's great to see you. Thank you so much. Baron had a plan that worked. Can you believe it, Visit? Can you believe it? My plan actually worked to an extent. Now I'm going to screw it up. Let's see if I can screw it up. I'm going to try to figure out how I can screw it up. I'm going to take this color here a little bit. We're going to go back down. See what we can do. I'm just going to kind of paint. This is a little bit, see how it got a little bit too yellow coming into here? Her face is a little bit almost too yellow. I think it's working okay. Now I want to get some red. We're going to do dragon red here. Falsehoods, lies, untruths. Yes, my plans work. Every once in a while. Every once in a while. Try a little red here. If I can get out of the bottle. I can. There we go. Well, I ran my first one shot on Halloween. Apparently, it went well, despite when then going to the one room I didn't want them to go into first. That sums up Dungeons and Dragons right there. Okay, so I got all this cool stuff, and they're gonna do this and this. Wait, what? You're gonna do what? Wait, no. Okay, if that's what you want to do, that wasn't okay. I guess you go there. Let's check it out. Yep, I've almost had. I had like this complete plan, believe it or not, and then all of a sudden my player's like, "Oh, we're gonna go do this." I'm like, this was funny. It actually it was a moment I should have thought of happening. So they got to like, it was my same thing, Morganite. I was doing a Halloween episode. I was like, oh, it's almost Halloween. I'm gonna do this like a house of horror thing just for fun. And I was like, okay, see this kind of scary house off in off the road, and one of your mentors is in there or something. I was telling one of my friends, a monk, so he had like a mentor that was. I was like, you should. What do you want to do? I'm like, I think we're gonna go to the monastery first. We'll probably come back later. I'm like, and my wife goes, I think if we don't go there, he doesn't really have anything planned. And I'm like, no, I don't. And that was when I realized at that moment, I should always have a bigger picture in my head than just a smaller picture. So now I always plan like bigger pictures as opposed to smaller pictures. And it works a little bit better. I had to keep moving the plot along because they broke or dodged a few puzzles. I really should have expected it. Yeah, it's amazing what players can do. It's really cool, but it's also fun to see what they do. That's the best part. I'm dry brushing some red now onto this one, onto this vine here. I'm going to dry brush some red into these vines too. And it's probably just going to turn them a little bit brown, but that's okay. Works okay. Got a little more red on here. Red is a really strong color though. But it really seems to be working. dry brushing my hand now. That's the best part. When it comes to this organic creature here, you're going to be seeing a lot of dry brushing speed. And too, especially near the back. I want it to be more orangish. I think that's going to work out. Dry brushing really does give you the freedom to be able to kind of blend things a little bit easier, because you can really work real hard in one area and then just kind of just a little bit lighter as you're moving away from it, as opposed to just using straight paint. Sometimes it can be a little tougher to try to blend it all together. At least I have found that to be the case. Runner. And yeah, that worked out really. I want to get some on this vine down here now. Then we're going to have to get to the base. If you need to know how to base things. Now these come with based already, but Loquitur and I did a great painting stream just a little while ago. Thanks, it was great, his idea to do a basing stream, and we did it and worked out really well. We had a really good time doing it, and I learned a lot, and he learned maybe he learned something. He's a lot better painter than I am. If you're interested in seeing some good painting videos and some awesome playthroughs, go check out Loquitur Gaming. Got some good stuff going on. I think I might have linked his channel in the description, so let's take a look at it. But okay, I think I'm pretty happy with how she's turning out. There's not a lot of definition, but I think there's enough to get going. I want some yellow. I want a little bit of yellow. What do I want? Orange. Orange, yellow. We're gonna go with orange. We're gonna go with orange, and I grabbed yellow. You like that? Go with orange and grab yellow. We're gonna put a little yellow on here. Now these are just my old army painter paints. As you can tell, they're really old. They're all even the packaging's crusting. I don't even remember when I got these. I know I bought them with like I got them with my Christmas bonus or whatever you could say. Like every year, my company or my surgery center gives a little bit back to us, and so they usually give us like a little gift card. They gave us a gift card too. I want to say it was Amazon or something, but that's the deal. So I'm going to take some yellow dry brush now and see how that looks like on this. Just a little bit. It'll be okay. And I want this like really. I want to put some up on. Now, dry brushing yellow isn't going to be as effective as some of the darker colors because it's not going to go over the top of them very well. I need some yellow. Need more yellow. It's almost like more cowbell. I need more yellow. Not a lot to make it so it's painted. Okay, there you go. All right, now I gotta dry my dry brush off. The way I dry my dry brush off, I really beat it up. Doesn't matter, it's a dry brush. But I want to get all these, see how that red is still on there? I want to get that color off. So I just got to keep on washing it and getting it off there until I get all the red off. If I go for a lighter color, it's going to actually keep that red on there, which is not going to be good. That's pretty good. Boom. All right. Thanks, Brent, for having I have an idea for our next episode. That'd be great. I'm interested in hearing what you think would be a good episode to do next. I know we talked a little bit about washes, so if you're thinking that, or if you got a better one, let me know. It'd be great. I watched one game of D&D where the DM had all the rooms planned and set up so that they would be random. Really? Wow, that's kind of cool. Especially when the party went into a new room, it would require a dice roll, and that roll would also determine what would be in that room. Oh my gosh, almost sounds like I'm playing a board game at that point. That's kind of cool. Did you back Aeon's Trespass? Yes, I'm all in, I believe, on that one. It's been a long time since I backed it, but I think I went all in on that one. Or if anything, I backed the core with all the stuff that goes with it, like the new tiles and things like that. But I can't remember exactly. For sure, and with my group, that could be very good. I had to move room locations spur of the moment as well as a few items that they actually needed to encounter. Yes, I have experienced that as well. It's like They kind of need a key. They need that key. I ain't doing a key. I'll just move that one over there. Got the key. That's one thing that has sometimes running modules themselves usually works, and sometimes it doesn't. I ran two of Annihilation, which worked out really well. It worked out absolutely super with my group. They love that kind of stuff. They love encounters and love puzzles. That's the two things I like more than anything. That module worked fantastic. In my new D&D campaign, I've actually been creating a lot of it, and one of the people actually reached out to me and said, I've missed kind of doing some of the puzzles. I'm like, funny, and it's absolutely hilarious how sometimes what you're planning fits exactly with the players think. I was playing, and I got a call, and they said, "Hey, I'm missing some of the puzzles." I'm like, "Okay, that's awesome." Well, okay. I even told them, I'm like, "Well, surprise, surprise! I actually just bought a little thing that of all these different kind of puzzles that I could throw into a D&D adventure." So, believe it or not, I was already planning to put a whole bunch of puzzles back into this, and I have a whole reason why they're going to be in there too. Um, Sadly, I can't tell you because they haven't experienced it yet, and if any of them watch the stream, they know it's coming. That would be kind of bad. It'd be kind of sad. And then another person said that, and they also wanted. They're coming back to a point where they want to. The world needs. They're becoming really more powerful. So like they're going to be experiencing more of the world. So I had them kind of work through their backstories and stuff, so you remember who they are and what they're made of. And so now with those backstories in hand and like really solidified, we might be traveling to some of these places. That'd be kind of cool. See how it all works out. Twitter says yes, washes, including do-it-yourself sun drop. Well, that'd be cool. Then I wouldn't have to do my minions anymore. I don't have to paint the minions. I can just sun drop. That'd be awesome. Because sun drop miniatures work. There's paint on them, right? They're only one color, but they still work. I like it. Let's go back down to our Grove Maiden. I think we're okay with I'm okay with what she looks like, just like that. She's not as bright as I want her to be. I wonder. What if I dry brush some Turbo Dork paints onto her? That would be ridiculous. No, I think we're going to stick with just what we got. Now, we have these things here, these little bulbous things. We're going to try to paint this exactly like that. So we're going to grab our yellow again. But I know I put some yellow in it. I don't remember exactly what I did, and that's okay. We're going to kind of go with it here. We're going to put my yellow. Yellow is right here. There you go. Put a drop of yellow there. We're just going to paint a little bit onto these. See what happens. First off, I'm going to paint myself, as usual. I got some yellow. How it all works. We're just going to kind of just touch these things here. Go a little bit like that. There we go. What's up? My sun has come down. Unknown. Go all the way around these. Hitting the parts I need to, pumping around, sure. That. In there, is that pretty good? Oh, a little bit underneath here too. Right to there, and right down here. There we go. Okay. We got that. Yellow. Bunch of yellow over here. There you go. I'm going to paint these. I think I painted them brown, didn't I? I think I painted them brown. Then I dry brushed a lot of red on there. That's what we did. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to paint them with a really light brown. Not real light. We'll see what we can find here. Let's go up top and see what we can find in our little paint extravaganza. If you do like this particular painting station, which I do, this is awesome. I will say it was given to me by one of the, I think I put a link in the description. I feel real bad. I can't remember the name of it right now, the group, but I think there's a link in my painting video that shows you where I got this. You can always check it out. And I think there's even I'm not sure if I still have the link in there for, I think he's still giving a deal on it right now, but I can't remember. Let's see. Dark wood? Give it a shot. Why not? What's the worst thing that can happen here? Dark wood. Dark wood. Shake it up. I'm in the room on my little thing here. You can rip one drop on it. I'll put two. Yep. I'm just going to go onto these these little things here. We're not going to go onto the. I don't want to hit the base. I just or the rest of the base. I just want to hit these kind of wood tentacles coming off this. Go. Just around it. Run all the way down to the end. I think that's a little fine, but that's okay. Just like that. Now, the cool thing is you can even see that there's even leaves in this, which is really neat. Now, I'm not going to take the time to really pick out the leaves, but you could. And wouldn't that be really neat? Just sit there and pick out those leaves. That'd be really neat. It'd be super cool. But again, my method is what we call the slop and drop technique, where we just slop the paint on and we drop it on the table. That's our plan. So I'm not going to try to paint every leaf I see. That'd be ridiculous. Take some of the paint off. I'm just going to go around a little bit. Just tapping the brown on the green stuff. Just tapping. Push, push, push. Core box of Darkest Dungeon finally arrived this week. Oh my gosh, really? Oh my gosh. I was beginning to wonder if it was actually going to. Miniatures look amazing, and I really want to try painting them. That's awesome, Morganite. I will not be getting that game. I'm sorry to say that game is not going to be hitting my table. Unless I've heard a lot of good things about it once it comes out and people have seen and I see some reviews and stuff on it, then I might get into it. But I played the video game and it was what I expected. It was brutal, and I only played it for about a couple hours, and I kind of went, I see where they're going with this. I'm good. So I'm wondering if that's what the board games would be like. I see where we're going. This I'm good, kind of thing. Slop and drop, and slop the paint on, drop it on the table, drop it on that table, and then actually drop it on the table and play it. Don't forget you forgot drop it on the floor. That's also where it goes too. Drop it everywhere. Where I go. I hope the game is amazing, Morgan. I hope you enjoy it. I know Canje Studios is waiting for his copy, or he has got his copy. I think he's still waiting for it. So I know he's still waiting. I know he's still waiting for that to do it. Okay, I'm having a hard time looking at this lady without having more yellow on her. Here's more yellow. I'm going to put some more yellow on. That's the deal. There's more yellow up here. There we go. I like that better. There. Oh, there. It's so satisfying now. So satisfying. That looks way better with the yellow in there. More yellow. I love it. Love it. And that's good. I'm excited for that. Just that one little hit made it so much brighter and so much better for me. I like it. I like it. Okay, now I got to get back down to here. We're gonna go with green again. What green do we use? Looks like we used camo green, but I think I'm just gonna go with this. I got a lot of this green still left over here. So first, I'm gonna use a lot of this green. So go in here and just kind of green in here. I'm gonna touch up a little spots, and then we'll kind of move it around once we're done because I want to get more of the majority of the green on there first. There you go. Now I don't have to be perfect about this. I just have to make sure I cover up all the white area. If I hit the yellow, and at the end of the world. We're going to blend it all together here in a second with some dry brushing, so it doesn't really matter how perfect this is. Oh, that. I keep as much yellow as we can, but if we paint over, it's not the end of the world. Go. Back one here. Green all over the place. There we go. Try to see what's going on in there. Camera, sorry about that. All right. Down there. Perfect. Green. Oh, a little bit. Knock some of it off. So it's funny because nobody's really going to see back in here, but that's okay. I'll know. That's all that matters. There we go. We got the green on there now. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. That's on. Now the rest of this, I'm going to go with camo green on the rest of this. What's this? This camo green? Nope, that's brown. A little bit of brown in there. Doesn't hurt anything. Be perfect. Okay. Let's find my camo green. One of the problems with the as you can tell, one of the problems with the painting is the fact that you never know exactly what is going on here with each color. That's the deal. Yeah, I have no idea how good the game is. I have a feeling I'll be house ruling a few things, but I bought it for the minis anyway. I love the video game. Very true, Baron. I had a fever, and the only prescription is more yellow. It was the answer. Oh my gosh, it was totally the answer to that for sure. Oh my goodness, for sure. Let's see here. Definitely not enough yellow. That's true. That's true. One of the best Certain Life gives. Yep. Definitely then need to have a fever for more. Was it the cowbell? Is that the one, if I remember right? Aesthetically, this might be one of my favorite paint jobs Baron has done. I love how it legitimately looks so organic and plant-like. Well, thank you. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it. Yes, that's my goal. We're trying to make it look plant-like. Oh, yes. I was looking for my camo green. What do we do with that? But one of the things, if you notice, the colors on these things all pretty much look the same when they're in the pots. That's the problem. So you got to remember which one is where and what you have, what you're doing. It is a lot different from the contrast. The contrast you don't put onto these things. You just keep it out of in the pot there. Here's our camel green. I think I ran out of camel green. Now this, I'm going to put a majority of all over the base. And then we're going to come back again and kind of pick out little things, do some dry brushing to get some stuff going. We're going to camel green all this. Holder up here so I don't paint my hand. I don't mind if I paint the base. I think we're eventually going to paint that base too. With the ring at the base. I think we're going to paint that very similar to the camo green. Actually, I think I might as well paint it all green here. We're just going to go with it. Going for it. Just going for it. Boom. Painting the base. Means now I'm going to have to put it in the holder or something. Probably should have done. Organic creatures are pretty fun to paint because you can just kind of really do a lot with it. Okay. Need some more camo green. Drop. Like that. There we go. More. Right up in here. Now, one game I haven't gotten to yet that I really want to get to is this game called Land of Galazia. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible with names. I have that one. I want to play that one. I might be doing a playthrough of that tomorrow. I'll record it though. I always like to record my first playthroughs so that when people watch it, they can kind of see. I can really get close to things and explain the way things work a lot better. And sometimes when we do it live, it's hard. We forget things. It's harder to go and do stuff live perfectly. When you record things, it's you have a natural way of being able to just kind of check some of the rules and things as you record. Kind of nice. Galazier, yes. Galazier. Galazier, yes. That's the one, Morganite. That's my plan. That's my plan. Now, we have this. I'm going to try to dry brush my brown into that now. See if that's going to work. Oh, I got a better idea. We're going to use... No, that's going to be a bad idea. We're just going to go with the this brown dry brush here. Let's see how this goes. Be a bad idea. Just dry brush some brown into this and try to blend this all together here. Enough brown. Too much brown. That'd be fine. Oh wow, does that thing come out or is it broken? Oh, what do you know? It comes out. That's amazing. I can hold it. Wow, that's something else. You learn something new every day. That's I didn't expect that. Well, now it's over my hand. That's awesome. That was something else. Get a little red in there. I need some more red on my palette here. Red. I'm going to put it in the same one that I'm using the brown. I'm going to add a little brown to the red. There we go. It's going to be red brown here. It's going to be awesome. A little bit. There you go. I want a little bit of this green. There you go. Look at that, huh? That's pretty awesome. I'll be interested to see what encounter different from mine as the global quests are random at setup. Yeah, pronounced Galzier. Thank you. Not to be confused with Brazier or Brazier. For sure. For those of you that don't know what that was from our stream the other night. We had a mispronunciation of brazier. I think is the word I were supposed to be going for. We were calling them braziers or braziers. That's it. And it was that was obviously not the right word. Not the right word at all. Not the right word. And there was much humor to be had at that point in time. Pretty funny. I enjoyed it. It was good stuff. All right. So this thing's done. I'm going to put this back in there eventually once we're done here, but I can keep this out right now. And then I am going to try to dry brush that same brown and red. All the parts. I'm going to open it there, back here. And got all this. Need some more red, need some red, brown. Red, brown, brown. I'm going to hit this rim around. Good. Now, we do have these roots coming out here. Those need to screw the straight red here. Okay, grind in some more red here. That looks good. Loving it. Oh my goodness. Drop her into the... I know she comes apart. We don't want her to come apart. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but I've noticed that as I paint them, their push to fit becomes a little bit easier, more manageable. Perfect. What we paint tonight, Steve, awesome to see you. Thank you for joining. We are painting the Sworn. We are painting the Grove Maiden. She is a player character that, according to the rules, you are not allowed to paint, or not paint, play. You have to encounter the character first before you can play her, maybe in the story at some point. So that's what we're working on now. She was next in list in line to paint. That was the deal. So that's why I'm painting. That's what we're painting tonight. Minis, Thomas Clark says. Yes, we are painting minis, Steve. That is fantastic. For those who don't know, the One Stop Co-op Shop streamed is Steve over at the One Stop Co-op Shop. I guess it could be Kim. Kim may be jumping on. Well played. Yes. He runs the One Stop Co Stop Stream channel. They do a lot of different games over there. You should check him out. He's done Skyrim, a lot of Marvel United, things of that nature. We do a co-op chat most of the time every Saturday. This Saturday we are talking about games you can play with a large group or like with a family, because it's going to be here in America. We're having Thanksgiving coming up, end of Thanksgiving, end of the November season, and then moving into Christmas, and that's when your families kind of get together and do things. And we're trying to talk about games that we all enjoy playing with our families. So, what minis? Where? Yep, not here. No minis. No minis. Have you played ISS Vanguard yet? This is the deal. No, it's Steve this time. So sorry to disappoint. Never disappointed, Steve. Never disappointed. Have you played ISS Vanguard yet? Yes, I played the tutorial mission. I am planning to play it on the channel very soon. I saw that Fancy But Functional is did an insert for it, and I thought it'd be really cool to get a hold of the insert and then not only do the playthrough, but also show that insert. We might be doing a build the insert stream as well. Instead of a painting episode, I might do an insert building episode. I actually have had people ask me, how did I build the insert? I had somebody email me about the Arkham Horror one. Like, how did you build that? I'm like, I can show you. Because I didn't really do a really good step-by-step like I did with the, what else? Oh, Madara one. I got him one from Madara from two. If for those who don't know who Fancy But Functional is, he does a fantastic inserts and just overall boxes. He built an entire box for like Massive Darkness and Massive Darkness 2, I think. He's fantastic. I think he's out of Hungary, I want to say. I may be wrong. And I know he kind of went on hiatus for a little bit because a lot of the stock he got for creating his inserts, he really was having a hard time getting a hold of the materials. But he's back in action now. Check him out. It's Fancy But Functional. You just type it in and Google search, and I'm sure it pops up. Or if it doesn't, type in Fancy But Functional Gaming, and he's got inserts for all kind of games, every different kind. And he does a very good job because it's exactly as the company says. They're functional, but they're also pretty fancy. They work really well, and they look good in the box, and they help bring a game to them. I don't know about you, but a good insert really helps me get a game to the table a lot better than a absolutely ridiculous one. For those of you that have Madara or haven't played Madara, there was no insert originally in Madara, and it was it was bonkers. It was bonkers. It was so hard. Oh my gosh. I'm getting Canje the Madara insert for Christmas. That would be awesome. I don't think he has Madara anymore. Doesn't even like Madara. Oh, the Madara one in your Madara playlist. The game indeed is in need of an insert. Yes, I actually had two different things I've done with Madara. The first one I did was I put it into, I have it right down here. It's called a super stacker, I think is what they call them. Let me show you. Oh no, it's my art bin, and it's right here. It's right here. I think I've shown this before. This is what's called an art bin. It's also called Hold Your Dungeon Crawler Without Any Problem, is what this is called. You can hold your entire dungeon crawler in here. It's amazing. I think I got them in a local store. They're about, this was like $50, but you usually get about 40 to 50% off coupon sometimes. It comes with pop-out little trays here that then open up, and you can put all your little tokens or some of your miniatures in there and things like that, which is kind of cool. And then they have two of them, one on each side of those. Then this thing pops open, and you can store any of your tiles, anything you want inside this big bin down here. See if I can get the view. See, that's pretty awesome, huh? And then on top of that, the top part flips open, and all your miniatures or other tokens or something can fit right on top if the miniatures are small enough. Like I have one, I use one for Myth. I have two of them for Sword and Sorcery. I've got one for the Lord of the Rings, Journeys Middle Earth, and I used to have one for Madara. But then I got the insert for Madara, and now I don't need this anymore. So I'm looking to put that in another game into that at some point. That's my plan. That's my plan at least. Not sure which one. But then, yeah, so there's I think there's two videos about how I store the game. Fancy But Functional is doing one for Wave 2 of Ether Fields. I'm so excited. Love the Massive Darkness 2 insert. Highly recommended if you have the all-in. Yes, it is so nice to have a good insert. And yes, I figured you were joking about that because, yeah, he did not like Madara. I thought Madara's a masterpiece. That's a masterpiece game right there. Okay, let's see. Where were we? I'm sorry. What do you know? I got sidetracked. We got our character done here. I'm going to put this back in. Apparently this thing pops out. There we go. That's in. So I think our miniatures, I'm going to call this done. She's done. That's the cool thing about these kind of organic creatures here. I mean, she's kind of done. I think that looks pretty good. I'm okay with this. Move on to something else. And she's going to be working with these things, I think. So it's kind of, I think she kind of fits with that. I think they work well together. They kind of still got the yellow kind of going in. You got a little bit of the red kind of hanging out. The bases are a little bit different, but I think it'll still work out okay. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. That'll be good stuff. So, she's done. I got this huge giant creature. Should we go this one next? Or do you want me to paint more of these? Small one or big one? What do you think? Huh, we got big ones and small ones here. It's even got a tree growing out of control. Wow. Ultra bark. Oh my gosh, it's got bark all over him. Oh, this guy's gonna be ridiculous. Okay, wow. What am I gonna do with this guy? Okay, big one it is then. Thomas Park, big one. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna let them decide for me. I'm just gonna go with the big one. This one's gonna be awesome. Okay. Oh, wow, look at all this. Okay, so he's got a lot of bark. He's more bark than bite. Get it? See, I'm funny sometimes. More bark than bite. Actually, I bet he bites pretty hard. I bet he bites pretty hard. It is those form. Things usually bite pretty hard. We're gonna go more brown with this guy, but we're still gonna do like the green and red dry brushes, and I might even throw some yellow on it as well. I don't have any picture for this guy. There's nothing that shows me what this guy should look like. So we're just going to go with it and let our hearts decide what happens to him. We are going to start with the brown because that's going to be our base color here. Which brown should we do? I don't see why we don't go with dark wood, but sometimes that dark wood can be a little bit too bright for me, or too dark, I mean. So, what other browns we have? We do have, nope, that's gray. Whenever the question is big one or small one, the correct answer is always big one. That's true. That is true. What was I thinking? It's always true. Let's see here. Oh, we got hardened leather. We also have sand golem. He is probably a golem. This is tough. Tough. I do have some orange. I have Maleficent. I'm going to show you guys this one. Maligant green, because I can't pronounce it. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, we got that. It looks more like a puke color than anything else. I'm going to use that one. Then I got purples and reds, blues, and what else we got here? Oh, we got a dusty one. We got sand golem. I think we are going to go with this dark brown. We're going to give it a dark brown feel. Now, let's look at what dark brown looks like. Dark brown is going to be that dark. It's going to be that dark. I'm not going to be able to do much with it once I paint it on there. Not too much. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, so turn it in. Glad I caught you for a bit, Baron. Have a good evening, everyone. Morganite, go get yourself some sleep. You deserve it. Everybody deserves sleep. I love sleep. I get to sleep a lot tomorrow. My poor, well, I shouldn't say that. I am at the mercy of my son tomorrow because he's not feeling well, so he's at home from school. But that means I don't have to get him on the bus at 7:30 in the morning. But I will have to be up with him if he has some issues with that. But I think he's doing well. He's just coughing a lot. But hope the best, right? Otherwise, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get sleep tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. Morganite, go get some sleep. Go get some sleep. You need it. All right. So hard. Hardened leather. I think we're gonna do the hardened leather. You know what? I think. Oh man. You know. Oh, hey, look! I found him. He's right there. He's way more green than I thought he was gonna be. Look at this guy. Why would you ever think that was gonna be green? That should be brown. Okay. Knowing that that's that color, I got a plan. We are gonna go with the lighter brown, and that's because I want to put it on so that I can dry brush over the top of it. Thin it up with medium. Might lighten it up. Very true. Thank you. That would be a great idea. I could do that. I have a medium now. I do have a ton of medium. What am I talking about? But I'm going to get this. Okay. Find an empty spot here. Do I have another one of these? No. I would have another. Not convenient tonight. We'll go over here. Get this out of here. We're going to put it right here. We're going to go with the sand golem. I'm going to do a lot of sand golem on this guy. But I'm only going to put it Should have been in this. Yes, there. I have one here. I think. Yes, you're right, Morgan. It's right here. Speed paint medium. I do. You know, you're right. Let's give that a shot. I've never done this before, so we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna go for broke here. What's the worst thing that happen? Our guy doesn't look good, and the chances of that happening aren't too good. Aren't too bad. Put some dark wood in there. Should have been one in the set. Yes, there is. There is one in the set. Thank you, Morganite. Or not Morganite. You're Loquitur Gaming. Now we can get people's names mixed up. Put 1, 2, 3 drops of that in there. Then we're going to mix up this speed paint medium here. Mix that up. I've never used this, so I probably should mix it up quite a bit. Probably get the thicker stuff at the bottom, lighter stuff at the top. That usually is how things settle, right? I'm a genius sometimes, I tell you. I'm going to do that. A little bit of that. There you go. Let's put some drops in there. I'm going to put, let's do 50-50 here. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Mix up a little bit. See what we got. Up. And I'm just going to touch it and see what happens here. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, good job. Okay, so we want to make this. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, all of this. Oh my gosh, there's something around here. I don't want to paint this brown in here. This we're going to do green. I'm going to put. Yeah, okay. This part we're going to stay green right here. This little arm. I want. Wow, all the rest. Nope, there's a little bit of green there. I think the rest is going to be very brown. Yep. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to go through and start painting this guy. Now, if I can, maybe I'll try not to hit those vines the best I can, and then we can maybe come back and hit those just with the dry, like with a green. Just paint the green right on them. That might actually work. Like this. Loquitur Gaming is, as always, a painting genius. Watering this down is a fantastic idea. And kind of right up to these best we can here. Now, here we go, just like that. And I'm going to not, I don't want to hit in there. I want to make that not be brown. We're following. This is going to take a while to paint all this brown. Wow. Almost like I'm painting that Sentinel. Sentinel took forever to paint with just one color. But again, it's because I'm trying, if I wanted to, I could just, well, slop the paint on. But I want to make sure I don't get all these. I want the vines to be special. They're really going to give it some character, I think. Could be completely wrong. No. Put right in there. Right in the crack there. Through there, put it in there. There you go. Get some brown on here. Lots of brown. I'm going to move that a little bit so I can touch this back. Now, the good thing is it doesn't really matter if it's perfect because, or if it's like dark in one place, lighter in another place, because it's all just going to kind of blend together anyway. Because I'm just kind of using this as the base color. I'm still going to dry brush all this green. I'd like to kind of have that like organic green flavor to him. It sounds like I'm all of a sudden making him into like something to eat. He's going to have this organic green flavor to him. Yeah. Feels good with chicken. Wow. That's an awesome brown. Very excited about this. Twitter Gaming, you're a genius. Thank you. You're absolutely right. Blending this down really worked. Lines here, so I can just go in here. Does that actually go all the way around? It does. Oh my god. All right. Even this is brown in here. Lots of brown on this guy. At least for now. We'll work on that then. Organic green as a flavor is more expensive than regular green flavor. That's true. That is true. Steve, it is good to see you. Thank you for joining. We are painting up some old sworn. It's good to have you here, Steve. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm excited to see you. Excited to see everybody here. Loquitur has just informed me that he is a genius, as usual, on his painting techniques. Right now, we are painting this giant monstrosity. See what happens with this giant monstrosity. I have no idea what this is. This is not an encounter monster. This is a monster that came in the set of miniatures that you're going to use in your game, play with as people. So I'm not too worried about painting it up. I don't know where or when it's going to come into play, but it is a player character type person. He's supposed to be used with the player characters. Painting him up. I did just finish my Grove Maiden. It's right here. I think we're okay. I think this Grove Maiden's looking pretty good. I'm satisfied with it. I'm pretty excited. Snap to fit model, so that's why there's a big crack down her head, because she's supposed to snap to fit together. Now, after this thing, by tomorrow, I will hit this with an anti-shine. I've got an anti-shine somewhere. Varnish. If you want to really make this thing stay from losing anything, you could use real varnish and then use a matte coat on top of that to really bring it down. If that makes sense. But I just paint the anti-shine matte varnish right on it. That's good enough for me. Only that it will cause a lot of damage and suffering when it does arrive on the table. This is true. There'll be suffering and damage when it arrives on the table. This is true. Oofda. It is big. I've noticed the bigger the things are, usually the more damage they do. Now the trick is I'm trying not to paint these vines, because we're going to hopefully keep those green. And when we dry brush on top of the green will really stick out. Kind of our plan here. So if I do paint over some of them, it's not the end of the world. We're going to try to keep most of those white. Go just like that. Coming. Oh. It's supposed to say, it was supposed to say pain and suffering. I strongly dislike autocorrect. But I do too. Autocorrect is like my nemesis. Kind of like my game nemesis. At least it didn't lock me down. But yeah. Autocorrect is horrible. The worst part is when it autocorrects and you hit it, and then you try to quickly type in the word you didn't want to have autocorrected, and it autocorrects as something completely different, and then you're just like, then you're frustrated because now it's autocorrected the word you wanted to do two different ways, and that's usually how it all ends. Sadness. So. Nefarious, howdy y'all. Good to see you, Nefarious. Thank you for joining. We are painting up our final Oathsworn characters here. We're doing our final Oathsworn characters. It's kind of nice. I wasn't sure what I was going to paint when I put the thing up, so that's why it was a very generic painting intro that I had up there, but I have decided to finish painting my Oathsworn characters. I've got this one and a couple left. Good to see you, Nemesis. Thank you for joining. Nefarious, sorry. Nemesis is a video game. Or a board game. Oh my gosh, I'm out of control tonight. In space, no one can hear your barrage of dad jokes. It's a I do have a barrage of dad jokes, don't I? It comes with the territory. Guess who got his copy of Oathsworn coming in early off the first wave wait list? Oh my gosh, first edition wait list. That's awesome. I hope you get it soon. Oh, that's so good. I can hardly wait to tell you what you think. I can hardly wait to tell you what you think when you start playing. I can't get enough of this game. As you can tell, Colin and I are playing it every week. Can't stop. So good. So we are going to stop. We're going to stop for 1 week. We've decided to... Actually, I had a great question. Somebody asked me if... Because we talked about how we're going to do a... we're going to do a story, an encounter, and then we're going to do a one-off. And then a story, an encounter, and a one-off. And somebody asked, are you kind of losing your interest in Oathsworn? And the answer is no. We're totally on board with Oathsworn. We're having a fantastic time playing it. But we wanted to make sure that everybody that didn't want to have the game spoiled was still able to hang out and enjoy a game with Colin and myself. So we've decided to kind of do some one-offs in between, which is going to be really, really cool. That's our plan. So it was an interesting question to get, and I was glad I was able to answer that now. What is brown and sticky? It's got oath is it? It's gonna finally get me into painting. That'll be awesome. I hope it gets you into painting. I've done a few painting videos on it. Need some look on it. That'd be awesome. I'm still waiting for Act 2 Madara to ship. I'm waiting for Act 2 Madara to like even appear, like it be done. I want to reach out to that company and see if I can get an early copy so I can do like an unboxing video and kind of get a playthrough. So with some of the new rules, when they did the 1.0 update, I was really excited because I was able to go through and just talk about all the different things that changed from the first edition to the second edition. And I'm excited to do that kind of thing again for the new Act 2 when it comes. That's my plan. Nice. A stick. Thanks, Visit. Of course, it's a stick. You're out of control. It's proven fact an autocorrect is specifically invented to make people look like an idiot. It's one of the greatest trolls in the history of the world. Oh, Thomas, you speak wise words. Those are completely wise words. Yes, that is what autocorrect usually makes me feel like, for sure. All right, there's a lot of brown on this guy. We got to get to work. Might not be able to get this guy done, but we'll give it our best shot. I think once I get the brown done, it's going to start going a lot faster. Because I'm just trying to avoid these parts. And then once I get it done, I can start just kind of going organically into colors and things like that and make it just really start shining and fun. Getting this base brown down, I think, is going to be the hardest part here. And let's see what we got. We got our vines coming out here. We got a vine here. What is this thing? A log? Just a log. Okay, it gets to be brown. Brown log. Oh, now brown log. Go. Brown log. Yeah, I was planning on referencing the Speed Paint Oathsworn guide on Board Game Geek and checking your vids. A bit mind-blowing. Should be fun. Yes, I'm sure. That's the one thing about this game. I'm sure they've got like a whole painting crew, I'm sure, on how to paint this game. I know they like kind of commissioned a guy to kind of go through all the different ways of painting them, but I didn't get a chance to watch many of those because I kind of had my own ideas. And I think if I remember right, I like to hear people when they paint, and I think his stuff is all done without talking. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I know everybody's got their own thing they like to watch. That's for sure. But I enjoy listening to people paint. It's actually one of the reasons I got into was watching Rob's Tabletop World. He would do a lot of awesome painting videos, and he'd kind of speak about it and how he was doing it as he's painting it. So it really helped me understand as an early painter how to do some of the stuff he was doing. He's a fantastic resource as well if you're looking for good painting videos. That's a person to look for too. I think he did a couple videos on Oathsworn as well, painting videos. You can check out. And Mel from Rob's Gaming Table, not to be mistaken for Rob's Tabletop World, has also done a plethora of fantastic videos as well when it comes to painting Oathsworn characters. There's a lot of resources out there for this, which is really cool. Which is why this game is so popular. And when a popular game has all these people being able to support it, it really is cool. It's like and you get that whole community feel. It's really neat. Kind of like the whole Gloomhaven community feel. It's kind of neat. I love it. Rob will take a closer look at the. I will take a closer look at the Robs. All the Robs. Yes, take a look at all the Robs. They do good. Canje also, I think, did a painting video on some of his stuff. He even joined me for one of his painting videos. He was working on the first encounter boss. So if you don't want to be spoiled by the first encounter you play, don't watch his painting video. But I think he did a couple other ones where he joined me on that one. But if you don't want to have those spoiled, I could totally understand that. Okay, we're getting there. Getting there, slowly but surely. Oh, look at this. This maybe I could have saved as a... Nope, we're good. Just gonna come down like this and stop right there because we got another vine. Get a vine. Get a vine. Gotta stop. Okay, we're gonna cover that all brown. Vine here. Okay, a little brown. There we go. Perfect. I gotta remember, if we hit the vine, it's not the end of the world. Not every vine is going to be perfectly green. Oh. Now, I'm not planning to paint in each vine individually. I'm not trying to get... So there's some of these vines, I'm looking at it now, that are really small. Like, see these really small ones in here? We're just going to go over those. I'm not going to deal with those. Just these bigger ones. See, I hit that vine, I'm not too worried. Not too worried about it at all. Now, if I wanted to fix that, I could just take some white paint over it, and then re-hit it again with the contrast, or not the contrast, the speed paints later. And there are different types of paints out there. I mean, there's these speed paints, which I believe are a little bit less expensive than the contrast paints, and they do very similar work. There are some subtle differences, but overall I can use both of them without too much problem. I enjoy using both of them. Things are better for things than others. I really think that speed paints have a better flesh tone than the uh, contrast paints, but again, that's just me. Um, interesting as going here, it's kind of darker part of it starting. It's like I need to mix it more. Look at this, is a lot lighter than this up here, but that's okay. I might have used more of it on there than I am right here. That's okay. It's wood. Wood kind of has different colors depending on where you are, right? Right? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Down. Now we're on to here. Okay. Start here. We're going to follow this. Go. And the paint is really bringing out the texture. You are correct. Barry says the texture is really coming out. Yeah, it does when you use this. And I'm glad it wasn't such a dark paint. It works out. I am going to turn the head green, actually. I'm going to try to make it a green, but then we're going to dry brush some red and brown into it. And kind of give it that. You kind of, once we're all done, hopefully a lot of this will blend, and I'm really hoping to get all this done. I think it'll look really cool if I can get it done right. I might totally fail miserably. And you know what? That's part of painting. Failing is part of painting. Sometimes you're excited for how things turn out, and sometimes you're like, it could have been better. But you know what? One of my rules is if you have paint on, you move on. So once you paint it, there's no reason to stay worrying about it. Just move on to another thing. They're not always going to be perfect. Everything's going to have, there's always going to be things you wish you would have done. But just once you have paint on it, move on it. Oh my gosh. If you see some of my early Warhammer miniatures, oh my gosh, they're terrible. And then I had a friend of mine who was painting too, and he goes, I went back and I worked on this miniature, and like he has like only a third of his army painted. He's like, oh, I wasn't happy with this, so I redid this. I learned a new technique, so I did it on all my paints and stuff like that. And by that time, I was like, dude, my whole army's done, and you've like only painted a third of yours. Just when you got paint on your army, just move on, man. Get another thing painted. You can use that technique on the next guy. That's what I was trying. That's my rule. One of my rules. Paint on, move on. When you've got as Loquitur would say, a pile of opportunity that you can't ever control, there's way too much of it. Once you get some paint on it, move on to the next thing, man. Is the head going to be brown too, or is that green? Oh, sorry. Yes, I didn't click on that one. I apologize. It's going to be green. It's a gnarly Pokemon. It does kind of look like a Pokemon once you get going on this thing. That's hilarious. Tells a story too when you look back at them. That's great advice. Yeah, it really does. You can kind of see where you've gone in your painting styles, everything. I think I've kind of, unless I really put effort into it, I think I've hit my stride and where I'm going to be in my painting world. There are always going to be things I'm going to attempt to try and see what I can do with, but I think overall, having the technique I have, this is what you're going to see. You're going to get this move on, slop on, drop on type paint. I'm not really going to be trying to win the awards. I just want to get this stuff done as well and as fast as I can. That's my goal. But it's get the paint on it and move on. Get some brown going up here. Now we're also going to try to make these Popeye parts of his arms, these part right here. We're going to do that green too, which is why I'm not painting any brown on that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the hands. I think I'm going to do them green as well, while I'm also stopping at the hands. They haven't really made up my mind on those yet, so that's why we're not painting them yet. Brown over here. Oh, hit one of the vines, don't care. One of the vines in the back of his hand here. Not gonna see it anyway. I'll see it, but most people won't. Oh, that was good. I dropped it. That was awesome. Base might be brown. We might paint the base brown. We'll see what that happens there. Yeah, I am going to stop at the hands. I think I'll paint those. There you go. Okay. That arm is done. Almost. Almost. Good. See about, let's just spin the arm real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. I missed a little bit there. We're okay. A little bit more in there. I know it's probably hard to see. There you go. Okay, so far he's kind of coming along. Different colored browns is totally fine. I think it'd be great. The way it's going to look. Perfect. And we're going on the next arm. Next arm, because he's done fast. Sneak right in there and get that painted up. Perfect. There you go. Matthew Rose, nice to see you. Hello, my friends. It's good to see you, Matthew. Thank you for joining. We are continuing our love of Oathsworn today. We are painting up another player character in Oathsworn, though, from what I understand, I'm not allowed to play with it yet until I find it in the story. So we haven't got to it yet. We are painting up the Grove Maiden. We got the Grove Maiden complete. She is right here. She is awesome. I'm pretty excited about how she turned out. It actually was pretty quick and easy to do. Just a lot of greens and some dry brushes of browns and everything. Love it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Matthew. I'm glad you like it. She kind of matches some of the other things we painted in one of the other streams that we've done. Sadly, I haven't had a painting stream in a while, but I'm glad you're able to join us. Thank you so much. Right now, we're working on this, I don't know, wood creature creation. I don't know exactly what this is, but we're painting this up now. And my goal is to be painting all these parts brown, but I'm kind of keeping some of the stuff that we're going to paint green. And then on top of that, we're going to try to keep these vines from getting brown as well. So that's why we're going a little bit slower across this. I don't want to paint those. The Grove Maiden looks awesome. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. I'm pretty excited about it. Now, I know I just talked about how sometimes you just got to go move on once you get your paint on, move on. Well, that one I'm excited for, and that shows to you sometimes things work out exactly as you're hoping. And that actually turned out exactly as hoping. Speed paints. I see your strategy. Yes. Yes, I pull back the cloak. I pull back the cloak. All my mysteries and my secret techniques. I don't have any. I don't have any secret techniques. It's all speed paints, contrast paints, and some dry brushing. Really about it. I like to get these things painted. I like to get them on the table as fast as I can. So that means speed paints and contrast paints. You're able to get not only the paint, you're able to get the that kind of wash feel as well, all in one thing. So yes, huge fan. Of the speed paints. That is my fan. Me either. I love your honesty. Yes, there is no tricks. I love to actually show all the tricks and everything so people can do what I want, what they can do. I also want to make it so the stream anybody can follow and everybody can enjoy it because I'm not an expert painter and I don't ever want to, I will never pretend I am. I want people to see that all you need to do is just get one color, throw it on there, and you're good to go. You don't need to be fancy about it. Don't have to have any of these like 32 different layers. Just throw the paint on, throw it on the table. That is what you need to do to play the games. That was one of the things I really prided myself on when I started my channels. My goal was to make sure that everything on the table had painted miniatures. There were very few channels out there at the time doing board games with painted miniatures. So that was my goal. And it worked out. Not only that, I've met some other people that also love that plan too. Canje Studios, Loquitur Gaming. Also, Colin right now is painting as well. I influenced him to paint. He actually started painting his miniatures over the pandemic, and he got back into it a little bit now. So he's kind of working on some miniatures for. I think he's the one that's gonna be doing Massive Darkness 2. He took his Massive Darkness 2 back, so I'm not. We're planning to do it as one of our one-off games together, but he has it right now, and he's planning to play through it. But he's going to use the two characters that my Patreons chose in his playthrough. So it's kind of funny that that's how it's all going to shape up. But then once we get it back, we're hoping to. I'm planning to use the two characters again, and he's going to use two different characters, which is kind of funny how it all turned out. So I added 3 drops of my dark wood again, and 3 drops of my speed paints. Medium. This all comes in the speed paint box that you decide to get it. So that's the deal there. We're continuing to paint this guy down here. We're going to keep on going. Hopefully get this done. I want to show you what this looks. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I am too. Looking forward to it. It was funny because I was trying to find a time to do Massive Darkness. Never got a chance to do it. And finally he's like, do you mind if I grab Massive Darkness back? Like, yeah, totally. Take it. Have fun. That's how it goes. I actually got into Shoal and started doing that one over Massive Darkness 2. Is that a mistake? I don't know. I think they're both going to be. I think they're both fun games. I don't know. I was reading both rule books, and I think they both are have equally fun things about them. I really like the character development. The characters in Massive Darkness 2. I think they're cool. How you can get like their own little They have their own little system. Every one of them has like their own little mini game, or not mini game necessarily, but one like own little quirks and ways they work. Instead of just getting like, oh, you got 3 extra cards. Like, no, you get like whole boards and things like that. I think that's a really cool feature of that game. We're going down into the legs and trying not to hit these. What do you call them? Vines, but still keeping the brown going. I don't want to hit the base either. That we're going to do green. Well, even though the picture, like I said, I like the paint like the picture shows. I'm going against that for this guy because I really wanted to stand out compared to the rest of the green that's going to be on the board. This guy's going to be like because he's going to be, I think, like one of the big things you can do for this when the character comes out. I don't know. I mean, I haven't even looked at her cards to even know what she can do, which is cool. That's kind of how I play. I like to be surprised when it comes to these kind of things. Now, I don't know if there's any vines in on the leg over here. I'm just painting it brown really fast. Because one, you're not really going to see in there very much, so that's the deal. When you're adding the vine color, are you going to use a speed paint or acrylic paint? That's a great question. I'm going to be using all. I'm going to be using. It's a great question. I'm not sure yet. We'll think about it. I think I'm going to use a dry brush on it, or I might just use. Oh, I think I might use. I'm going to use the speed paints, and I'm just going to go straight down them. I think it'll work, and I think it'll be kind of cool because it kind of might blend in with the brown too as I'm doing it. So we'll see though. We're going to start in one place, see how it goes. Otherwise, I might just dry brush green on top of it, and the green will still hit the wood too, which will be kind of cool. But it'll mostly hit the vines because the vines are white, so they'll mostly attract the green, I'm hoping. And we'll see how it all works out. I think I'll try that. That's going to be the plan. We're going to try acrylic green by dry brushing it on there. See what happens. And if I don't like it, you just paint on top of it. That's the best part. Oh, I probably should show you the miniature, not my face, as I'm staring at the miniature painting. There you go. Now there's a lot of vines coming off of this, their arm. That's one of the hard parts when it comes to trying to dry brush these things. I think that's smart. Well, thank you, Matthew. I thank you. But I have to admit, my plans usually go a lot better in the painting world than they do on the board game world. Usually when I have a plan on the board games, they don't work very well. But my painting, sometimes when I have a plan, it actually turns out okay. Not always. Not always. There's a lot of times it does not. That's fine. That's how I learned to not do it like that again. Again, we're just getting some of the brown in there. I'll get that fine. That's okay. There we go. This arm's almost done. So now I gotta get, now I gotta get all inside there. So we'll see how we can do this. Again, we're gonna try not to get that fine here. Okay. Okay. And the good thing is being able to dry brush that green is going to help because this there's a lot of like you can kind of see some of the white kind of showing through on some of this. Which we not to mention I'm holding it up here the whole time, so I've kind of wiped off all the brown up here, so I have to go through and do brown up here, which is totally fine. Just redo that, just like that's fine. I think that arm's done. Most part in there, I gotta get though still. Good. What about underneath? Yeah, I think we're okay. Okay, I think that's good. Hofda. I think that brown as the base will work better. That going too heavily on the green. He's a big, brutish looking creature. I think the brown is better at conveying a sense of sheer strength. I agree. So yes, better than going too heavily. I agree with you. I think that's one of the reasons I went this route. So I'm glad that you are all seeing kind of what I'm seeing when it comes to the way this guy could pull out. Oh wow, this is so he's got some really weird thing coming out on this backside here. Let me show you. He's got some really, these are really standing out. I'm excited. I'm going to try to get those with a red too. and really see if I can pull these out. It almost looks like there's like something growing off of his leg here. I wonder if I should not paint. I might paint that green because it's not like this bark one. It's more, it looks more organic. I think I'm not going to paint that. I'm going to leave that right like that. And we're going to come at it with a different color. Now this down here, we're going to go back to the brown. We're just going to kind of blend it in there. But I'm not going to be super like, oh, it has to be exactly to this point. Because again, we're kind of going organic with this guy, just like the rest of the stuff. So where it is and where it isn't, there's not really a beginning and an end to where some of this stuff is. Kind of where it decides to be. I don't know if that made sense. It made sense to me. And we've got a couple more vines coming into this area here. And then we've got his leg coming, foot finally coming down. And we're going to go green on the hands too. So that might be a mistake, but I think it'll be okay. Okay. It kind of does the same thing on this side of his leg. It does clean, but I'm just going to paint it brown just to kind of blend. And there we go. That should be good. Perfect. A little bit of too much brown back here, so I'm just going to dab it off. Down on his foot, and I think I'm done with the brown. I think that'll be okay. Now let's do the green. What kind of green am I going to use? I have to decide. We have two different greens here. We have that dark green that we used, and we have that lighter orc green. I kind of like the orc green because you can seem to do more with it after you're done than with this darker green. And even the camel green, it's harder to do stuff with the camel green. I'm sorry, my camera's not. This is an emergency camera. The camera I was originally using there decided not to work today. I don't know why. Yeah, I think you're right, Matthew. I think it's time to use. I like the lighter green. We're gonna do that. The lighter green. Matt says use the lighter green. You're right. We're gonna use the not plasmatic bold. I think that'd be way too green. We're gonna use the orc skin. That's the plan. Let's do it. I agree. You're right. You can always darken things up way easier than it is to lighten things up. Very true, Matthew. Very true. So we're gonna shake, 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 shake your green paint. Shake, 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 shake your green paint. Go. Oh, another thing I was working on just a little while ago before we started the stream, I was trying to, okay, so for those who don't know, I play Dungeons & Dragons. I've got a campaign I'm still working on with friends. It's kind of fun. We try to meet every week. And my friend had gotten some Dwarven Forge stuff. He's gotten these Dwarven Forge tiles, right? You got two different sets of tiles. Well, I was able to pick up I was able to pick up black, straight normal ones. I didn't buy the paint. So I picked up a few of these, like these. Not very many of them, but I was trying to paint them, and I thought, okay, I got to try to match it. So I think I did okay when it came to matching these things. So, which is kind of cool. The way I did it is I just took. I'm not a big fan of this. I have to change that. I might just dry brush that on instead next time. I painted some bestial brown onto it, which is right up here. Let's see if I can find it. Where'd it go? It's over here somewhere. There. I painted some of this. Well, I think it was Monster. No, I think of Monster Brown. Is that what I do? Yeah, I think I used Monster Brown. Monster Brown is what I used. Go back to the camera. Monster Brown. And then I also dry brushed, though. It's kind of funny. I actually dry brushed, I think it was this onto it. Necrotic flesh onto it to kind of get that color. That was the deal. Shake your bottle, shake your bottle. I've tried making my own dungeon tiles. I've gotten mixed results. I did that too a couple times, and I kind of went, eh. But I actually really like Dungeons and Lasers. Was a company I turned to get like when they did their second or third Kickstarter or something. I picked up some of their stuff. And they just did one recently for like outdoor stuff, which I backed some of that stuff. But then my friend picked up a lot of Dwarven Forge stuff, and I was like, oh, I better get a little bit of that too. And so I picked up. I didn't paint it. I didn't get the paint of stuff because that costs a little bit more. And so I thought I could maybe paint up myself. So that was something I was working on before I started the stream. Then I realized as I was doing it, my camera was failing me. So I had to get a new camera. So that's why I was telling you the story about that, which was kind of pointless to tell you a story about. So I got our green. Let's go back to reality here. Oh, because we're getting late and I want to get going here. I want to get this all done though. At least to a point where it looks cool enough to call it cool. We're going to do some green. I'm going to paint everywhere that's not the brown. I'm going to paint the green. If we paint onto the brown, that's totally fine. It's like I said, it's organic, so it's all just going to kind of work together here. Now we're going to also do a bunch of dry brushing on this to try to really accentuate some of these colors, get them to look cool. There you go. That looks good on him. Get some green here. And hitting the brown is new world. Nice not to, but if I do, it's not going to kill it. We are going to paint the vines with this green. That's totally fine. We're still going to go over it with a darker green. Go around and under here. This painting thing is great, but my main concern this evening is if Colin watched Tommy Boy yet. I totally agree with you, Dan. No, I can guarantee you he did not watch Tommy Boy yet. Not seen Tommy Boy. We'll have to. Everybody's going to have to taunt him on the next stream. Gosh. Oh. There. Slopping it in there, and that's totally fine. Go. Green in there. Okay, we've got green. 2 places. We got 1 green place left, and that's his big giant leg and his hands. Except for that hand. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. He's missing a whole hand there. That's hilarious. I love that green. Use a black wash on that. Should make it nice and dirty. That's true. It would work really well. But instead, we're going to just dry brush a whole bunch of different colors on top of it. And really make it pop out of here. Oh, I missed his whole inner part there. I got to get that brown. There's green. I'll get the green right in there. Green here. This time I want to hit some of that brown so it kind of works together in there together. There we go. So it's kind of blending in there a little bit. So I'm going to actually, the funny thing is now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some green into that like that and make these work together. Just the opposite from the other side. Got the green now. How much? Now I'm going to take a look. I'm not even changing my brush color. I'm just keeping it with the green on it. And I'm just going to kind of wash a little bit of the brown into there. So it kind of blends in a little bit here around the sides of this particular part. Taking the brown with the green still on it. Don't even care. Just kind of blend it in there a little bit. That'd be good. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Doing good. Oh, I got to get that part. That's what I was doing right here. Get right in there. Get that brown. Gotta get the hand. Dry brushing green on there will look really cool like moss on a tree. That's my hope. Oh my gosh. It's like you're reading my mind. You guys are amazing. Now we're going to paint this down here green. Now, would it be better to go brown on this? I just think there's so much brown. I think it'll be fun to just paint these hands green like this. I think it'll be kind of cool. Go, got the green on there. Hands. Perfect. And the brown, don't care. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh, whole leg down in there. Leg back there. Gotta get the brown on there. All right. There we go. Might be a lot of brown in there, but that's okay. Now it's good. Okay. Woofda. I'll take our dry brush. I should get a bigger dry brush. I think it'll be fine. We'll just go with this. Okay, we're gonna go with this. That's the deal. Let's see what we can do. We're gonna use. Let's find our paints. That's the hardest part of the whole deal. I've got Angel Green is really dark. Army Green, no. Green, I think it's gonna be the same color as what you see there. Green skin is gonna be about the same. Okay, we're gonna go with this. We are gonna go with angel green. We're gonna go with the one. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Oh, that's awesome. That's good work. I am going to use this angel green. We're just going to dry brush with it. We're going to see what happens. See what happens. Might be a little bit too dark. We'll see. What are you thinking, Barrett? I'm thinking maybe yellow. Nope, we're going to go with this first. Try this first. That's the deal. We'll get some yellow later. We'll see. All right. What's the worst thing that can happen? Take my little cloth, and so as you haven't used a dry brush before, it's just put paint on it. Then you just wipe it off until it's kind of almost mostly dry. We're going to kind of go over this like this. That works okay. Plan just like that. Around there. It's a fine line to walk when it comes to dry brushing. How much do you put on there? How much do you not put on? I mean, we're just dry brushing that right on top of this white. Right now I'm just doing the vines, but it's still hitting some of the brown, and that's totally fine. Oh. And I've noticed when it comes to dry brushing, I always start off going a little bit light, but then as more of the paint rubs off on the, as you use more of the paint from the brush, I don't mind digging in a little bit harder on the model. Because that's what I've noticed. I do at least. If I put my hand on the paint, that'd be awesome. Okay. What I thought. It's not really going to matter on the dark, on the light green. I'll have to find something different for that. We'll use some brown on the light green, which we. I think when I'm all done with this, I might actually throw a wash on the whole thing because that'll really seep into the cracks. Sparkle. I shouldn't say sparkle. Nothing about this miniature is going to sparkle. Don't use that word, Bear. Okay. So what I thought would be too dark actually is turning out to be fantastic. It's actually turning out okay. I'm liking the give off of the dry brushing, but not digging the white vine still. Yeah, agreed. There's still too much white on those vines. 100% agree. Don't worry. I think I've got a plan. Not, yes, I agree. It's not doing the best, what I was hoping it would do. What would happen if I did this? Let's try this. Let's grab, where did it go? Nope, not hardened leather. I want, there it is. I want this. Bill. Bill has joined us. Thank you, Bill, for joining. It's amazing. I got a plan. Yep, I do. It's never really a good one. We'll give it a shot here. I'm actually going to throw some of this onto here, and we are just going to trace the vines with this because I think that'd be better. I was really hoping the dry brushing would work, but it's not. We're going to go through and trace the vines with this color. If I get any on the wood, again, it's not the end of the world. Way better. Way better. That's going to be fine now, but that's okay. The dry brushing wasn't going to work. Matthew is right. See, some of my plans don't work. Then you improvise. So much better. That's the way. Kind of a nice jade where it's lighter. True. Militarium green would be great for that. What's militarium green? Do I have militarium green? Probably do. Oh, yeah, it's a contrast color. Okay, thank you. Yes, I do have that. This looks way better. I tried dry brushing it first. It didn't. Not being super careful, but that's okay. Go. So much better. Should have done this from the beginning. See, and then you win some and you lose some. All right. There you go. I like the vines better like that. I agree. So much better like this. Go. Oh boy, I got a lot of vines there. Get to them. Couple more. Flag. There we go. Okay. The white vine arm looks infected at the moment. It kind of does, doesn't it? It's got this big white thing sticking out of it. That's hilarious. Brush here. On the palette, I mean, sorry. Go, that leg's done. I'm still going to try to do some of that dry brush in here because it doesn't look bad. But this way I'll be more able to just kind of do a little more less control of it. I'll just be able to just lightly put it on there. But I do like up at the top where it's kind of like got that green look to it a little bit. I think I like that. Okay, now I got to get this arm. I need more of this. I ran out. Be enough. Top part, and then we have to go from the bottom part. Kind of big. There you go. Ooh, got the monster. Lots of stuff to paint on it. Mine's ultra green. Not easy being green. Wah wah wah. A little bit more, almost done. course, they go all the way on the inside of the arm. Really? Oh boy. Better judgment there. There we go. All right, I think that should be. I think that's a little bit better. I like that better. Oh, Kermit had a bad day in Oathsworn. This is what happened to him. Poor Kermit. Okay, we've got the vines all done. I think that is better. I like that better. A lot of paint there on that vine. Let's get that off there. I like that better. Now that we got that done, go back to the dry brushing. I think that'll be fine. I don't want to hit up here. I just want to keep that the same. Okay. Now we've got two things we've got to deal with. One, I want to make the brown a little more green, but then I'm going to need to make the green a little bit more brown, but also make it yellow, and I want to put red all over the whole thing too. So we got a lot going on here. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to start by doing the green dry brushing, but then I'm actually just going to use this paint that I've got left over there. Put it on my brush, and then just kind of hit some of this stuff. Not enough. Around it. I give a little bit of green look. There we go. Okay, here, I need a green. Where's my green? Aha! Angel green. Let's put that back on the playing field. I'm having flashbacks of painting on Oathsworn trees. So many vines. Yes, I did not do that. I cheated on that. It just kind of painted. Oh, I used my airbrush. I did the whole thing brown on my airbrush, and I just kind of went with my green airbrush, and it didn't perfectly work, but I'm okay with it. It works fine. In the spirit of almost friends, the bratwurst. Show me your wiener and brush. I want a bratwurst now. I love bratwurst. Been a good bratwurst in a while. All right, let's get this show on the road here. Let's get this guy painted up. All right, we got a little bit more of the green on here. Fantastic. Get that on there. Go. Leg. Down to his feet. Okay. Okay, on the here. Okay. There you go. Poofed out. Think it's gonna be okay like that. A little more on top here, I think. Okay. Problem is, if you ever do a hard dry brush on top of this stuff, it'll scrape right off when you get back to your white. Ah, always so many vines. Very, very true. There's always so many vines. All right, we're done with that. I want to go back to yellow now. I want to go back to my yellow. Really want to hit this yellow. Now we're going to get some red. We'll be close to done with this gal soon. Super. Like super. Oh, that looks terrible. Yellow. Now it's popping. That's right. That reminds me of painting Swamp Thing. I never painted Swamp Thing. It'd be cool if I did get to paint Swamp. I watched that CW show, the Swamp Thing. That was pretty good. Was it on CW? I think it was on CW. It also was on HBO Max. Well, I think it was on HBO Max. Swamp Thing. It was really good. I like that one. Okay, that turned out pretty good. Pretty excited about how that turned. There we go. Oofta. Bought it from Best Buy. Nice. Did you enjoy it though? That's the big question. Fine. Best Buy online. Ooh, I thought about that. Hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I think that's good. Put some more yellow out there again. I want to hit it again. Too much? Pretty good. I like more yellow. Deal. I buy the comic book too. I haven't read the comic book. I haven't read the comic book. I should. That Swamp Thing's impressive. I did watch the Harley Quinn show, and Swamp Thing was in there. Third season. He made an appearance. There we go. I'm going. Almost there. Got to get this back here. I forgot about this arm. Look at this. I forgot about this stuff back here. I kind of went a little too heavy on it. Oh well, that's okay. I get a little bit of yellow on the stuff around it. I want to kind of feel like it's radiating. Okay. There you go. Okay. Huh. Now I need some red. Because red's fun, right? Red's fun? That's the deal. Red is fun. But I want to mix it with... I want to mix it brown? No. But I don't want a whole bunch of it. Just want to get a little bit on my brush. Not a lot. Because I'm really taking off a lot of this. Having just a little bit of red in there. Good. Go. we go. Go. Wow, I can't believe it's working out as well as I'm hoping. Okay. Testing. And one more spot. Way too much. There. And one more time in his face. On the edges of that wood. That looks cool. There. Oofda. But who remembers the old Craven Swamp thing from the early 80s? I do not, Thomas Clark. I don't remember that one. If I can go to Gen Con next year, I want to bring that stupid green that has green hats so someone can recognize me. Well, I'll be at Gen Con next year, so I'll look for the green hat. I just try to cover up white spots at this point. Yeah, it's about it. I often find my minis go through an ugly phase, then after cleaning up the oopsies and adding last touches, it all comes out together. This is true. That is very true. A lot of times when I think it's all going downhill, it actually turns out to be going pretty good. A little bit of brown in there. I'm just going to kind of put it in here. See what I can do. I'm going to hit here with it. There. Just hit places. I think that didn't look bad. Oops. Around there. I'm holding with my hands. I'll probably go through and just look for all the little white parts I see and just hit them with some kind of color at some point. But I think he's pretty much done. Here. Something with him. Brown. Brown, something. Any brown. Any brown will do. Dark wood, just hit me. That will do. Seriously? There you go. Boom. Ahmed, it is good to see you. Thank you so much. We going to Gen Con next year? We are going to Gen Con next year. I'm going to Gen Con. I haven't been there for like, what do you call it? 3 years? I think I haven't been there for 3 years. Looking good naturally. Thank you very much, Broccoli. I haven't been there for 3 years. Hope to get back there this year. That's my plan. I don't see why I'm not. I think that the group I go with will all be going. I think Colin, myself, and Steve are all going to go from One Stop Co-op Shop, along with Steve, Mike, and Peter. Hopefully, are going to go as well. We're still not official. We're trying to think of maybe kind of getting a room for as One Stop Co-op Shop group together, because I kind of work with, I kind of am affiliated with them. Some of my videos hit there. Most of them might hit here. I don't know if people have noticed that or know that, but hope to see you then. Very true. That'd be awesome to see you then. That'd be awesome. We finished up today, Ahmed. We worked on the Grove Maiden. I got her done. She is 100% ready to go. I'm just going to paint up some. I'm going to do some. I'm going to lacquer her up, and so she's good. And then we also did this giant brute. I'm not going to do the base done, but I'm going to do the base exactly like I did this thing. Not too fancy. But I think he's done, and I think I'm okay with him. I think he's okay. There's some spots here. Like here, I'm going to have to touch up right there. I'm going to have to touch up down here, here, right here. So I'm just going to do those on my own to get this thing ready to go. Just a little bit of touch-ups here and there, but I think it worked out okay once I got the brown on there. And when I originally dry brushed green, didn't work as well as using the actual green paint. That was the way I should have done to begin with. And then we did another green in here, dry brushed a lot of different colors, yellow and reds and things like that in here. So this guy's done. That's the deal. Woo! Love it. I've been to Gen Con. That's a bucket list destination. Never been. Steve, you gotta get there. Gotta get there. Oh, Matthew, you gotta go to Gen Con. Gen Con's fun stuff. So much stuff going on there. You can never be bored there. That's for sure. I mean, I can walk around the like the what do you call it, the place where you buy games. Just walk around and just look at games. It's just so much fun. It's just cool to do. Looking good. Do you use contrast paints? Yes, I do. Great question. I use contrast paints. That's all the whole back wall there is all contrast paints except for these right here. These are technical paints. There's different things like I've got Blood for the Blood God, some gooey ooey ooze, and then these are just regular washes. I've got like Null Oil and things like that, which I actually might throw I might just do a whole glob of Null Oil on this guy, or else Earthshade, one of the two. Then I've got regular Army Painter paints. I've got the Speed paints, which is what we use today, which are very similar to the contrast paints. And then I've got my Turbo Dark paints, which are awesome for painting spaceships. They're sweetness. Or armor. Or painting armor on guys is also as well. My first Gen Con will be next year. Kind of odd since I lived in Indy my entire life. Well, that goes without saying, Broccoli Docklands, that's your odd. No, I'm totally kidding. 100% kidding. 100% kidding. Oh my gosh. No, it's... Yes, Gen Con's gonna be super cool this year. I'm excited to go. But there you go. 2 guys painted. Pretty good. I got 4 little things left to go. I want to get these painted as well. But I think we're gonna call it a night there. You made all of us so jealous right now, Broccoli. That's true. He did make us jealous. I could just drive to Indy. The only problem is I'm not jealous of him because he has to be an Indianapolis Colts fan if he watches football, which that's too bad. That's the way it goes. I live in Omaha. I rarely rarely go to any College World Series games. Really? Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's fun stuff too. Oh, you're an Eagles fan? Wow, you're even worse than I thought. No, I kid. They're only lost. I have to be bad. I have to. The only team we lost to so far. No, we probably had no reason we shouldn't beat the Bills. But there you go. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to call it here. We got some painting done. It was really awesome to get back to painting. It was great to see everybody here. Thank you all so much for joining for this painting stream. I will be getting back on the bandwagon again, trying to do these at least once a week, either on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night is my plan. Usually Colin and I will be playing every Monday, so look forward to that. We are going to be playing our encounter number 9, and then after that, the next week, we are going to be doing Eldritch Horror live on Monday. I haven't done it yet. I've never played it, so get ready for that game. Colin, if you're looking for a playthrough, I think he has done it on the One Stop Co-op Shop, so check that out. I am also going to be recording ISS Vanguard. I've got Feast for Odin, which is my punishment game, as it's called. And I'm also going to be doing Lands of Gazelia. I think I said it right, failed, but I will say it correctly in the playthrough. I hope. I give myself about 50% chance. That'll be coming as well, so look forward to those. Thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to, I guess, I'm supposed to say like, subscribe, and hit the bell symbol. Also, you can join our Patreon. It's in the description of the video. It's awesome stuff. We pick out what we're going to play, how we're going to play it, and who's going to play in it while we're there. I'm also going to be doing a giveaway very soon. We hit 7,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. It's amazing to have you all here. I am going to be doing a giveaway coming soon. Hopefully I can get that recorded tomorrow. That's my goal. We'll see. I never promise anything. I just have goals. Are they attainable? We'll see. Thank you all so much for joining. I think lots of thanks you in the stream. Thanks for the good one. Thank you for the stream. Robert, good night. Thank you for joining. Brock Docklands, thank you. Barrett, and thanks for all the good chat interaction to everyone. Yes, thank you all for joining. It's you guys that all of you make this super special to do because I can interact with everybody. We can talk, we can chit chat while we're painting. It's super fun. And not only that, I get to learn some stuff, and you guys, everybody there helps me out figuring out how we're going to paint this guy, which is pretty neat. Love it. So thank you all so much for watching, and let's see, I need to get all my clicks to the right spot so I'm all set to go. But thank you all so much for watching, and if you're excited to see what comes next, then of course I need you to meet me at the table. We go to the painting table. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I'll see you again.